right, rundown. Last Monday of February, Jeff D. Lowe, Robbie Fox Club. We did the last one. We did the
Oh,
last
that's right.
rundown.
We
We're
were the last people
back-to-back
that you
rundowns.
saw on the rundown on Thursday. Yeah. And we're
They
back.
just,
Programming note: we are the new rundown team for good now.
they just can't get enough. They just can't get enough. This rundown brought to you by a couple things. But first up, talk about a little JackPocket there. JackPocket. You've heard of ordering, lotto tickets on your smartphone. Why not scratch off tickets? Why not scratch offs? You can with JackPocket, America's #1 lottery app. That you order scratch offs right on your phone in places like Texas, Massachusetts, Ohio, Arizona, Oregon, Colorado, etc. I'll be in Arizona this weekend. I'm
Oh,
going to do
nice.
that. JackPocket's your one-stop shop for ordering national lottery tickets like Powerball, Mega Millions, scratch offs in select states. Download the JackPocket app to start ordering tickets today. New customers use code Barstool for a free Powerball or Mega Millions ticket. If I turn on my light, hang on. Oh, there we go. Now that's
Oh, there he is.
the vibe. First up, what a list of topics today. What a list of topics today. Steve Smith, the legendary Panthers wide receiver, also played for the Ravens. He played for a third team. Am I forgetting a third team in there? I don't think so. I think just the Ravens and the Panthers, right?
Yeah, I don't think he ever went to a third because he was by the end of his Ravens, he was kind of done.
A little trivia test. Both you got trivia this week. That's like a little, it's like a
True.
little, it's like a
And then he
pregame.
transitioned to his career as marching band leader, right?
Yes. So
Name his college, Jeff. Do you know his college? Because I could get that one.
Steve Smith, Utah.
Bingo.
Yeah. So Steve Smith Sr. Was discovered by the husband of a Ravens employee, Ravens marching band employee.
I
So
think so. That's what people are saying. I don't
for
know if
those who
it's true.
don't know, the Ravens do have a marching band. There's actually a ESPN 30 for 30 about it's called like the band still plays or something. It's about the Baltimore Colts marching band, which continued to the Baltimore Colts fans, they piss and moan all during the documentary, and they steal the fucking Browns from Cleveland. And they're like, oh, this is so
Bananas.
stupid. It's insane. But they still have a marching band. That I do know. Whatever. They won 2 Super Bowls, so fuck off, I guess. And one of their marching band leaders, I guess, she met Steve Smith and they had an affair or are having an affair still. And the husband posted some very, I guess, explicit, I guess in terms of text, explicit texts between Steve Smith Sr. and his wife, uh, and called him out online. There's some crazy tweets. He's basically there's some funny tweets. I'll read the tweets in a second, but thoughts on outing this whole Steve Smith affair with your wife on Twitter from this guy. Crazy. He tagged all of Steve Smith's sponsors like
He tagged
uh,
Yeti coolers.
Ghost
You
Golf
see,
Club
he was
Yeti,
tagging. He wanted like
TaylorMade.
Yeti coolers to make a statement on this.
They tagged TaylorMade. Maybe they're gonna make the foreplay guys make a statement on this. I don't know.
This was crazy, and the pictures that he put up too. Some of them I think were like maybe some like nudie pictures that he put emojis over. So I don't know. That feels like it could be like a lawsuit for revenge porn or whatever. But the other ones are just like goofy, derpy looking pictures of Steve Smith Sr. that are going to be
One of
memes
him like doing this
when he's like,
Yes.
it's the weirdest like double chin picture ever. But yeah, the texts I wish I could unread. Now every time I see Steve Smith, I'm going to be thinking of those weird ass texts. But yeah, this will be what I think of every time I see Steve Smith for the rest of time.
Yeah. When people say the good old days of Twitter, when it was just for jokes and nonsense, this is the kind of stuff
yeah.
you talk about. And then when you have like the Steve Smith from the bottom up selfie picture, I don't know how to describe it. Like that's a meme now. And when she does blah 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 or whatever, it just
And he
works
called him
every single
too.
time.
Did you guys see that? The phone call?
Yes.
He like
He
called
recorded
Steve
the
Smith and
phone
was like,
call. Yeah.
"Why the fuck did you fuck my wife?" And Steve Smith Sr. just sounds sad, and he's like, "I don't know, sorry, apologies." He
And
just sounds
then
very deflated about the whole thing.
everyone's like, I gotta see this wife. It's like just all the stuff on Twitter. And then the guy comes out and is like straight up like, feel like, why are you doing this to yourself, man? It's like, I don't care. Like
Because he's like, "I got nothing to lose."
I
It
got
seems like
nothing
he's
to lose.
deleted the tweets or his account got deleted. I don't
Well,
know.
it seems like this would be a lawsuit. No, like it by the terms of the law, you can't post that stuff. It is like revenge porn, isn't it? Because there were some like pictures of Steve Smith that were like compromising, to say the least.
Yes.
Yeah. There's okay, the
It,
account does not exist, so either his account got deleted or like banned, or he deleted it.
Now
Okay,
it's stuck. Steve Smith fucks your wife and then sues you.
yeah, that's tough. I can
Just
also see
L
Steve
after
not giving a
L.
shit either.
True. But is Steve Smith like a married guy?
Good question. I don't know the answer to.
Is this like
I think
Steve Smith
I
cheating on his wife? Or is he a
I
single
believe
guy and it's just,
Yeah,
I
spouse.
believe Steve
He's
Smith
been married
Jr.
since
was born in wedlock. Yes.
mm,
2000, it seems.
oh,
Oh, yeah, there's like a nice story with them too. I saw like a Steve Smith documentary or some sort of nice puff piece. Now I just feel gross after being reminded of
Yeah,
that.
that
That's tough. You forget there are other people involved in this. Well, thanks, Robbie. Thanks for ruining that meme for me now.
sorry. Just think of that goofy picture of him. Just
Oh, and like the ice up son as like Steve Smith's like
yeah,
go-to
yeah.
catchphrase is always tough. You've seen a lot of that over the last couple days.
the
Yeah,
marching
tough.
band leader. How tacky.
Tough stuff.
What a tacky affair for Steve Smith Sr. That's just what a story. What a crazy the texts are that is like straight out of 50 Shades type text too. Oh my God.
Yeah. Gross.
Oh, the picture of him with his double chin is so funny though. He clearly took that like in a meeting or something, or like during a Zoom call, and he's like he had the phone down here. He's like,
He didn't want them to see
yeah,
the phone, yeah.
that's unbelievable. Uh, yeah, the saga seems to be continuing. We'll see. That guy did delete his. The guy's one tweet is pretty funny where he said, um, "For those saying divorce her, yeah, no shit." Like he's like, "Yeah, of course." Like,
Yeah.
what do you like?
He's like, yeah,
Like,
way ahead of you
I'm gonna
there.
reconcile this. Speaking of deleted things on Twitter or X, depending on what you want to call it, Kanye West and Dave had a back and forth on the app over the weekend, which is just not anything you'd ever expect. Dave, a very long time disliker of Kanye West, he's gone on record, I think, many times saying he didn't like 3 or 4 years ago, at least too, saying he's disliked him forever, which that's aged quite well. Um, I'm a big separate the art from the artist guy, but there's definitely a line, and I think this is the line. I think promoting swastikas and Nazi stuff, that is the line. Like that's where I can no longer like really separate that. Like it's the Kanye West saga is pretty funny because it's fairly black and white for me. Like he's just a piece of shit. Like I don't think there's
Oh,
really any
yeah.
other thing to say at this point. Like he's just a piece of shit. But him and Dave went back and forth in this whole meme coin world. There seems to be a stance, and I know Dave tweeted this as well, that he sold his account to people in the crypto world, which is the way his account's tweeting and the things he likes, the things he promotes. Like it seems as though crypto people are running his account. Now he did post a video wearing a swastika on his shirt, responding to Dave, saying like I'm no longer going to communicate with Dave. Clearly an attempt to show people he's maybe behind the account because he's launching a coin. But again, I think the black and white takeaway from this is just a unbelievable piece of shit. Just like to go from incredible musician, known as this artist, a little out there, kind of strange, but like releases probably one of the better albums released in the last like 30 years, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, to being this humongous piece of shit associated with Nazi stuff. I mean, that is from 100 to 0 as much as it can get. Unbelievable.
As someone else I remember back when the New York office first opened and it was all the Kanye people loving Kanye and his album just kind of the life of Pablo or whatever.
Yep.
And I'm just like, listen, I was there for Kanye when he first came out. He was awesome. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was kind of like the zenith of it all, but even College Dropout, incredible album. He was always kind of a dick, but you're like, listen, he's so fucking good. You just let it slide with Kanye. And then as he got bigger and becoming more of a dick, you're like, it's all right. And I think right around there is when it was like, all right, this guy, his music isn't as good, and he's starting to get really extreme. And this is like you said, Jeff, like now he's just 100% dick, 0% artist. I feel like even the Nazis at some point would be like, listen, this guy doesn't speak for us. He's a very public figure, but I think even they're like, take the swastika off your chest, Kanye. And the
I
Nazis,
just
they'll take anybody, I feel.
that's just like
He just is a
Like
Nazi now, too. Like we've been saying
yeah.
for, I feel like months or years even, like, oh yeah, he keeps posting swastikas. He's associated with Nazi ideology, imagery. He is a Nazi. Kanye West is a Nazi. And it's crazy how normal it feel like normal in the sense that when he posted that and he's wearing a giant block swastika, your first thought isn't like, oh my God, what the fuck is he wearing? You're like, yeah, it's Kanye now. And it like I'm sure neo-Nazis have always existed, of course, for my whole life, but it's crazy how it does just feel like a normal thing now. Every time you open up Twitter, it's just Nazis.
Speaking of which, is it weird that when I saw Kanye going at Dave, it didn't wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe it's like, oh, this is just where we are as a world. Like it's
I
become
kind of
normal
thought it
to
was
me.
fake. Like I did the thing where I was watching it and someone in the replies was like, watch his hairline. It's an AI video. His hairline phases out at one point. And I'm like looking at my phone like this close. I'm like, I think it's real. I don't know. Like I could not believe like I couldn't believe it was real personally.
Yeah, see that I don't know, maybe that's never maybe like back when I first started working the company, which is crazy, to be 6 years ago or 7 years ago this year. Um, like maybe then, yes, but in the last like 5 years, like
Kanye just doesn't seem like someone that like replies to people with videos like that. Has he ever, other than like he
yeah, I
replies
don't
to
know,
like
like
Trump or like huge like world figures or Kim or Pete
maybe, yeah.
Davidson?
I don't
It,
know. I
it was
just
just surprising to me that he went at Dave after all the years of Dave going at him. And like you said, Dave's side has aged very well.
which again also which Dave was pretty adamant about this on Twitter that like very clearly he's either he's being taken hostage by the people who bought his
It did
account.
look like a hostage video up
Yeah, I
against the
mean,
blank
Yes.
wall where he's like, "This is Kanye West. I am Kanye West. Don't play with my money."
yeah. So I mean that's the thing. It's like the fact that he is his replying at all probably is even a stronger indication that he's at least in conjunction with other people.
Yeah.
But no, it is. I will say in terms of the Barstool thing, I was like, it doesn't phase me. It's like it's just like just another day. Just like it's just a classic. Like, yep, Dave and Kanye going back and forth. And Dave, though I will say it wasn't even much of a back and forth. Dave kind of just like swatted him away. He's like, what? Like he's like, I'm sick. Just like fuck. Like he's a piece of shit. He's a
And
piece
he's
of
off
shit.
the
And not go
reservation.
away.
Nobody takes him seriously at this point. It's not even like you can have a
True.
back and forth with him when his side is, I'm a Nazi. It's like, how do you argue that? It's like, all right, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. It's just like Dave's
And
the
all
other
of
tweet that
this,
I
all politics aside, he hasn't made good music in fucking 15 years or something at this point.
Yeah, I've been a fan since that. I mean, he's had some good songs. I haven't been a big fan since Dark Twisted Fantasy. So it's like whatever. He's just like he's not even a real person to me anymore. It's just like okay, you're just like it's a phony. You're
He's
just a
like a
walking
edge
publicity
lord,
stunt.
rage baiter.
Yeah, he goes to the red carpet, crashes red carpet. It's like whatever. It's like
Yeah.
okay, like enough's enough. Remember when Amy Schumer fell down in front of him and Kim Kardashian like on a red carpet as like a
I
publicity
don't.
stunt? That's like
I
the
don't
most
remember that.
publicity stunt vortex of all time. Amy
Ugh.
Schumer like pretend like falling down in front of her. Yeah.
She thought she was going to
Um,
be the next like Sasha Baron Cohen with that stunt.
you can't you can't be surprised by anything these days, and that's summed up by Dave's tweet that said, "I thought Adam Sandler cured him of being a Nazi." Either
Yeah.
way, I fucking hate this guy. But just that, like that's the fact that that's a real sentence and
Yeah.
not like AI and like a Mad Lib is like that just says it all.
And where did that come from? Kanye said he like watched an Adam Sandler movie and was like, "Now I don't hate Jews."
So
Wasn't it a tweet something like that? It's like
I
I just watched
think
Happy
so.
Gilmore. I take back what I said.
But
Hopefully, my my
No, you're
my
getting confused. First, Jonah Hill cured him of being a Nazi, and then he
Oh, it
became a
was Jonah
Nazi
Hill. You're right.
again. And now Sandler uncured him of Nazism, and now he's back to being like he's relapsed a couple times.
and
Jonah was the one. You're correct about that.
the
honestly, my take is let him like the more he does what he wants, the more less people will care. Just like whatever. Like at this point, just do what you want, go away. Like I think the only positive out of this, I feel like people are so over it and don't care that it doesn't even really stir up like it's like okay, great, cool, man. Like do whatever. Like you're a piece of shit. Plain and simple.
I remember back in the day when he'd have his Twitter fits, it would become a thing on Twitter, and everyone would read, "Oh my God, he's just writing in all capital letters or just weird,
Yeah.
outrageous shit." And at this point, it doesn't even get the traction anymore, and rumors that his account is being used by someone else hopefully will just squash it. I love though. One of my favorite things is everyone's like, does Dave hate him because he's a Nazi? And Dave's obviously Jewish. It's like, no, Dave hates him because he's a Taylor Swift guy. And this
Yeah.
started back at
Yeah.
the MTV, VMAs or whatever it was back in the day when Kanye went at Taylor Swift, and then obviously all the Kim Kardashian phone bullshit. And Dave was flag planted on Taylor Swift, and you want to talk about stuff that aged well. I mean, that's about as well as it does
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Kanye versus Taylor Swift beef.
Yeah, that's the long and short. It's good take. Good take from the boss man. Aged very well. That's as well as a take can age as possible right there. Moving on. How about Factor? I got a Factor
Ooh.
box that arrived, I swear to you, 5 minutes ago.
Oh, really nice.
They rang my doorbell before this rundown started. That's not a joke. If I could pick this camera up and show you, I would.
Pick up a
But
Jeff,
whole
let me
monitor.
say that. Let me say this, Jeff. On our last rundown, you said I put my factor order in, and now said factor
That's true.
order
Yep.
after the weekend has arrived.
Yep. I did all of the same meal. How about that? I
Oh,
did all
what's
the
the
same
meal?
thing.
Tell us the
chicken
Jeff
dish.
D'Lo special.
Chicken dish with not
Is it the
potatoes. What's it
jalapeno
called?
cheddar one? I love
Something.
the
It's something
jalapeno
along
cheddar
those
chicken.
lines. Good. It's got a good. Whatever. I'll try to remember it. But anyway, it's delicious. If you want to optimize your nutrition for the year, have great meals, and they are high quality meal. Like the biggest thing about Factor is, and I say this every time, is it was a sponsor of Surviving Barstool 2 years ago, and not that ever not like people had heard of it. But you're like, okay, like I haven't tried it. Maybe people had it. They're like, wait, these are unbelievable meals. Like this is not, ignore the fact that you put it in a microwave. Like these are fantastic. Like they are steaks, great chicken dishes. Like there's some amazing pasta dishes. Fantastic. You would never know that it was a meal that is cold in your fridge to a microwave. Like if you just undid it, it's like those classic commercials would be like, oh, you never know. It's like this is
Yeah.
like, no, like you truly would never know that this was just something that was put in a box in your fridge, then into a microwave because it's high quality stuff, prepped great before it's sent to you. Factor's fantastic. Factor Podcast. That's that's gonna be the code when you go to factormeals.com/Factor Podcast. Put that code in there, get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. Factor Podcast at factormeals.com/Factor Podcast. Great meals. Great meals. Delicious stuff. And you said it last week, Robbie, great protein shakes too. Great
Oh yeah,
drinks,
very good.
great extras.
They don't
You
taste
get
like
lost in that
chalky,
thing
like all like
forever.
protein shakes usually have that weird like chalky aftertaste. Not with Factor.
I missed the pumpkin one though, but I get it. It's it's February. Can't be. It's not pumpkin season. So yeah, popes. There might be a new pope. I don't. I'm gonna put a movie twist. I really don't. I really don't care. It's no offense to all Catholics out there. I don't really
Yeah,
care.
respect to the Catholics. I
Yeah.
was so unaware of this till like Nate sent the topics in.
Yeah. So he is critically ill, which I do think happened rather
Lung
quickly.
infection, I believe.
Yeah.
Kidney, I believe.
I think it was lung and kidney.
Oh,
I think
they're
it
all
was like
connected.
spread to the kidneys. Yeah.
This would be our third pope since like 2004, I think. Am I right on that?
Was this the cool Pope? Was Pope Francis who they were saying was the cool Pope?
They were saying, I don't know if any pope is cool.
Yeah, but like
Um,
wasn't one of them called like this is the cool Pope?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he was the one with the AI big white puffer jacket. When I think of him, I think
he
of
was-
that AI picture of him in the big white puffy jacket.
He's like he was kind of a different pope. I mean, so the pope that I grew up with was John Paul the
Second.
what
Pope John
What
Paul
number?
II. I think he was
Second,
number two.
right?
Number two, John Paul.
Yeah,
II.
so that's why I gotta tell you, until I was like, which I mean, I guess I was young. Until I was like, I thought he was an American pope. He's not. He's
No.
not. We're still searching for that United States pope.
Was he
Probably
from
not gonna happen this
Liverpool?
time around.
John
Probably
Paul?
not gonna happen. Who?
John Paul, was he from Liverpool?
He
Just a little
was.
Beatles
Yeah,
joke
he's
for
from-
everyone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. John Paul's Italian.
But no
right?
disrespect to the current Pope who's in the hospital critically.
Yeah, so this Pope's on the out, but the big thing is that we just had a movie come out called Conclave, where they picked the next Pope. It just won a SAG for Best Ensemble. It is number 2 on DraftKings right now in terms of odds for winning Best Picture at the Oscars. I do not think it's going to win, but
I
based
took
on
it
the way
twice
they
a while
vote for
ago
the-
though. Took it plus 500, plus 450. I was like, those are good
Yeah.
odds.
It's a good bet because typically with Best Picture, the way it's voted on, it's like a ranked ballot, and there's a lot of old people voting. This year's a weird year. Nora's the favorite. Nora's a bit it's kind of like a softcore porn in a sense. Like it's pretty graphic. It's a great movie. The Brutos is another favorite. It's like 3.5 hours long, and there's rumors that voters aren't finishing the movie. So a lot of times Best Picture is now just the least disliked movie. And Conclave is kind of liked by most everybody. So it does have a legit chance to win. But the fact that the Pope is maybe going to die, like right around when this movie's potentially win Best Picture, is kind of crazy. Like that is a little nuts, I feel like.
Are you calling
But
this a publicity stunt death right here? We have a publicity
Maybe.
stunt Pope
It's
death?
like a Simpsons called it. It's like
Yeah.
one of those
Is he a
almost.
producer? Is he a producer of the?
Matt Groening
How
produced
powerful is
Conclave.
Hollywood? Could they kill a Pope?
Yeah, so this would be our third Pope since Pope John Paul 2005, April 2005. I remember I don't know why I remember I was in 8th grade when he died. So I don't know why I remember that. I was in gym class when I think he died, when he croaked.
Oh,
Pope John Paul
no.
II. He was the Pope for 26 years.
That's pretty crazy. That's my whole
crazy.
life. 26.
The previous Pope before was Pope for 33 days.
Whoa. What? He only lasted 33 days?
Yeah, John Paul. Yeah, I don't know the backstory. Yeah, so John Paul II was Italian. The next one I think was German. Yeah, Benedict was German. He's only there for 7 years. Francis would be 11 years. Pope Francis.
And he's Italian too, right?
No, Francis is from Argentina. That was the big thing. Is he
Oh,
was a
that's
South
right.
American.
That's right. He's
Pope.
Argentinian. Yeah.
We're
First-
just not. Where's the
First from
American?
the Americas.
Give the
First from the
American
Americas
Pope.
right here. Yeah. Jeff, I didn't realize this. As soon as you said that thing about the no American popes, I figured at one point we snuck in there. A lot of Italy, not surprised, obviously.
Yeah.
Francis is the first ever from the Americas. So we're just getting on the board here on this side of the what is that, the prime meridian, right? So we had equator last week. We're doing a little
That
bit
was
of
good,
geography here on the rundown with these three. We got to get an American pope in there. How do we get this done? And I loved seeing, so I didn't know I didn't know the Pope was sick. But then KFC wrote a blog. And then when KFC's writing a blog and it's a Pope blog, that's when I actually get really interested in religion. And he's listing out all these different guys. It's always just such an interesting array of people, all different walks of life. How do we get an American Pope in there, though? Oh, I got to see this.
Walking
I
down
just
the
don't-
aisle like Hulk Hogan, pointing at
Yes.
people and stuff. Not Hulk, obviously. He might not be the best guy for the Pope job, but he could walk out the real American still. Use that.
Cardinal Leo Burke is the, I guess, front runner for an American Pope. America.
Leo Burke? Pope Leo Burke? That doesn't sound right. I'm going to be
then-
completely honest.
Timothy Dolan is a New Yorker. I don't
Dolan.
know.
We don't like that. in New
We don't
York.
like that. Yeah, exactly. That's a problem. Or Cleveland, for that matter. They have a Dolan of their own.
Pope Timothy sounds all right, though.
Pope Tim. That's a cool Pope name, right
Pope
there,
Tim is
right?
cool.
No, but he'd
Yeah.
get a different name,
Oh, you get a new name when you become the Pope, like a
right?
confirmation
Yeah,
name?
you'd get a different. Yeah, you'd get a
You
different
just get to
name.
pick a good name.
Yeah.
Pope Clubberlang.
There was a
What
guy.
is-
I read this. Francis was the first to use a new and non-composed regnal name since Lando. Pope Lando is a sick fucking name. Year 913 to
What do we
914.
have here?
Because what's
Pope
his
Lando.
actual?
I wish I was alive for Pope Lando. Damn.
Jorge Maria Bergiolo. That was his
That's
actual
Francis.
name. Yeah. Pope Frankie.
Pope Jorge kind of works too. Hey, Pip.
Stanley
Jorge.
Tucci played the American candidate to be Pope in Conclave.
I still got to see that. I've heard good things.
What would your Pope name be if you could have a Pope name?
Ooh, great name. Great question. What's a good regal sounding Pope name? I mean, like Pope Robert sounds all right, I think. Sounds official. But I would have to pick a new name, you're saying.
I think John is the most popular one. Yeah, John. There's been 23 Johns.
That's my confirmation name. That's kind of a.
Yeah.
If I could I go Juan? Would I be allowed to go Juan if I'm not Spanish?
All right, here we go. Ready?
No.
You want here's a list. Here's a list of the most.
I'm overruling it. No way can you be Pope Juan.
You can't cancel the Pope, can you?
There have been 21 Johns, 16 Gregorys, 15 Benedicts. How's there a John the 23rd? There's only 21.
I kind of like Benedict. I'm thinking of Cumberbatch right away, obviously.
Clement?
But I'm like, Clement?
There's a
Oh,
Pope
Clemens.
there
Clem.
you go. Pope
Pope
Clement.
Clem. There we go.
Yeah.
I could be Pope Clem.
Oh,
That would be
Yeah.
sick.
there's
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
13 Pope the Innocents. You can't do that. That's
Whoa,
like,
whoa,
what are
whoa.
we
That
doing
seems
here?
like you're overcompensating for
That's a
something.
Star Wars. That's a Star
Coming out
Wars
being like, I'm
character.
innocent.
Pope not
Trust
guilty
me.
is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pope the
Yeah.
Innocent is a Star Wars character. You,
Pope the innocent. Jeez.
Leo and Innocent 13, Pius 12 times, Stephen 9, uh,
Stephen's
Urban,
good.
Pope Urban 8, Alexander, Adrian, Paul, Sixtus 5 times,
Could you be like Pope Nike
Eugene.
and get $1 billion from Nike to be named Pope Nike?
Oh, you should
You
take a
sell off the
sponsorship.
Yeah.
the Papples.
Post
Pope Apple,
Pope Papa John's.
Pope Apple.
Yeah.
Pope Papa John the First.
Yeah.
There's some good names that have been used one time. These are the best names:
Ooh.
Agatho, Caius, Constantine, Cornelius,
You're starting to get into the Star Wars comic book sounding names
Yeah.
there.
Pope
Pelagius.
Hilarious.
Pope Pelagius. Have you heard the tragedy of Pope Pelagius?
What about like Pope Wagner as a little shout out to Nightcrawler, our religious friend from the
Yeah.
X-Men?
The list of the ones that have been used one time. It's like Fabian, Averistus, Eustachian, Linus.
I feel like this is good water cooler talk we're providing. Like
Yeah.
maybe if you watch the rundown tomorrow, you could go into work and be like, the Pope has, this many names. You could pick a new name for Pope. This might be common knowledge. I don't know. We might be just idiots on the subject.
I didn't realize this, Jeff. You mentioned it before, how there was Pope John Paul II. Then his predecessor was Pope John Paul I, who was 33 days. He just took the dead guy's name or the abolished guy's name and then just rolled with
Yeah.
it and put a 2 at the end.
They're
why
like,
did
we already
John-
chiseled the names into everything. We're just gonna put another line.
Yeah.
over.
That was definitely it.
Yeah, why did he give up the being Pope?
He died in 78, which is when the other guy took over. So he
Oh,
died.
he died 33 days later.
That's tough.
Tough
break.
job.
That is
Yeah.
that is crazy. Huh. Interesting.
I know
didn't-
Jeff
don't
loves
think
all the
I
Roman
actually
numerals here
didn't know
too.
that.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, John Paul II. I forever thought he was I thought he was a guy from like Yonkers. Like I just thought he was a guy from America. He's very much not. He's very Italian. I mean, the Italian reign on the throne of being Pope was very long. But
Oh, if we got like a Jersey Shore-ish or like a, straight Northeastern Italian Pope, Sopranos kind of stuff, that would be incredible. That's our first American Pope. He's wearing like velour tracksuits into the,
Pope
what is
they
it?
do.
The Vatican. Pope they do. Gabagool.
the Pope BMOC.
Yeah. Big man on Vatican.
It can't be an Italian Pope again. That's like change it up. Like
I don't know. Don't be anti-Italian. Yeah, that's anti-Italian.
I guess one of
discrimination.
the top picks is from the Philippines. Is Filipino.
Pope Pacquiao.
Yeah.
There's also the chance of, I know Kevin put his blog. There's a Pope from Ghana too, having a black Pope potentially.
Hashtag Black Pope.
Change it up,
White
make it
smoke,
different.
Black Pope.
Change it up. Change it up. And I guess lastly on our topics list here, you got one Yankees fan here. Yankees are no longer going to play the celebratory in New York after they lose at home. They also, that's not even the crazy thing. They're letting people have fucking beards now on the team, which I don't like.
Yeah, did that happen since we last did the rundown too?
Yes.
That initially, as a Yankees fan, I didn't like to read. I was kind of like, I know it's a stupid tradition, but it's our tradition. It's like you come to the Yankees, you shave that beard. I don't care if you're Johnny Damon. You come to the Yankees, you shave that beard. And then I talked to Hubs about it, and Hubs was like, yeah, it's all fine and dandy when you're winning, but it's been 16 years, bro. Let's change some things up. And I was like, you know what? That's the take. That's absolutely the take. That's how to feel about it. And the New York thing, I think this is great. They're playing It's Life, right? That's the replacement. It's the perfect replacement.
Or it's a changing of different.
All right, I'm
sounds.
okay with that too, as long as all the songs are, fitting thematically. I don't want you playing something that makes us happy walking out of the stadium if it's a heartbreaker loss. It's like this was a long overdue change, I would say. And they used to do the cover, but I know that it's like, oh, you're playing the inferior version, offensive, whatever. It's Life, perfect.
Their one of their new pitchers they got from the Brewers, Devin Williams, like shaved his beard. He had like a pretty like good sized
Yeah.
beard, and he talked about it. He shaved his beard, and like a day later they removed the polish. I mean, he can grow the beard back. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like the
Garrett
fuck.
Cole. Now we got, unlocked ability. Who else with the beard? Rondon, right? With the
Garrett,
he had the
Garrett
beard
Cole's
on the
beard
White
has to be
Sox.
just scraggly and gross. It's got to be
I
a
thi-
weak
No,
beard.
he had a good beard before he was on the Yankees. That was one of the things. He shaved his beard when he came to the Yankees,
Oh,
and
he
everyone
did
was
have a
like,
beard. That's right. He
"Yikes,
went on the
buddy.
Astros. He did.
You look
He
way
had like
worse."
just
He at least
this.
looked
Like he
normal.
wasn't like a stash guy. That's not a bad
Yeah.
beard. I take it back. Apologies to Garrett Cole. That's
And
right.
guess what? Juan
He'd have a
Soto can't
beard.
even grow a beard, so we don't need him.
That's
Let's be honest,
that's
Bob. This is in response to Uncle Stevie. They're like they're not be able to throw the most money around. They're not able to say you're going to win a championship in the Bronx, so they have to start loosening the rules up a little up there. And hey, that's fine. That's fine. It is what it is.
If Vladdy
Juan
wants to
Soto,
play in the Bronx, you can keep that beard.
man.
he
Garrett Cole really
infamously
was
said he
so much
doesn't.
more intimidating with a beard. Wow.
I know he looks way
Yes.
better.
That's what the clean shave Yankee face does to him. It wipes it from your memory. You don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Now, what is the first thing of when you think of Garrett Cole? Garrett Cole now. It's his voice, and he has
Yeah.
a bad voice.
He does
The
have a
opposite
bad
of his
voice.
beard.
Yeah. Not intimidating.
I will say there was always a
Curse or
nice
whatever he
thing.
said.
I always liked when
He said-
the Yankees traded or signed a guy with a beard, but then they'd cut it and they'd have like a sick mustache, like the mustache.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. The
that I
well-groomed
would like that. Where
mustache,
they just
yeah.
got the stash. Yeah. What an hilariously archaic rule. What is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
It
was
is.
real
It is kind of
archaic.
funny. Yeah. Um.
So New York after losses was stupid though. Like
So
that was.
stupid.
It's like
It's
oh, fuck,
embarrassing for fans.
It was
Very.
embarrassing for fans.
Speaking of New York, you know what New York has? New York's got a TGL team. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
TGL, exciting indoor golf league. Also hilarious. Some very funny moments happening there. Tiger Woods being given. I don't think he was given the wrong tip. I think he heard it wrong. But anyway, you can check out tonight, tomorrow on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus, TGL. The best golfers in the world, teeing it up, having a good time. Some of the craziest golf technology you'll ever see. A moving, shifting green. That is the golfer's dream. I bet Riggsy Boy has that in his He's gonna have that in his backyard at Pinehurst coming up sometime soon.
Oh yeah.
The shifting, uh, rotating green. But you can check out the TGL, all the big teams, the Bay. Shout out Tiger Woods, Jupiter, Boston, LA, New York. Great logos, great stuff too. But yeah, the TGL's firing it away. I'd love to go to that. Not easy to get in, I don't think. But if you can't get
Well, I
in,
wouldn't imagine that. Yeah.
no,
It's
if you can't get
the
in,
biggest stars in golf and not that many seats. It's not like it's a full stadium or an arena or anything like that. It's a pretty
Yeah,
intimate
so-
experience.
pretty cool. But yeah, so next couple of matches, you have LA Golf Club, I believe tonight, against New York Golf Club. Then you have
I like the
Boston.
bloopers too. It's obviously great golf is being played, but like
They
the moments where
enjoy-
like
they have a great
Kisner
time.
shanks something or something, Tiger's cracking up at him, like those clips
Right.
are great.
Finau Morikawa Thagala, which I think Finau was signed for like a 10-day contract.
I saw
Play
that.
for
Yeah, it
LA
was.
Golf Club. Cam Young, Matt Fitzpatrick, Ricky Fowler, and then tomorrow with the Boston Common Golf Club in Atlanta, it's Keegan Bradley, Hideki Matsuyama, Rory McIlroy against Justin Thomas, Billy Horschel, and Patrick Cantlay. So check it out. TGL, ESPN2, ESPN Plus. Yeah, they just have a great time with it too. They're just yucking it up, laughing, just piping things down the middle of those giant screens. So if you can't get there, check it out. ESPN Plus. Anything else? I see on the note here. There's a note of me versus RA. There is an epidemic happening at this company of people complaining. I mean, it's happened for 5 years now. People complain about having a dozen team. And RA asked where his team was like a week or two ago, and I told him, I said we downsized the league, which we did, and I did leave open one spot because it was pretty known via Dave on Nain that Gruden was probably going to play in the dozen, and so we added John Gruden to the dozen. He has a new team debuting this week against Clem and the defending champions Ziti. Robbie Fox, second match of the year, airing tomorrow. Team Minahan against Foreplay. Speaking of golf,
Speaking of golf,
and then RA tweets me this morning. He responds to the tweet that I sent him last week with like a thinking emoji, like as if I like fucked him over with putting John Gruden in the league. I have no hate on RA, and he's not banned, nor is Dante There's no conspiracy with Gia on their, which Gia's team, they won their first match.
Mhm.
They played great. So I don't know. It's like I can't. I
It
enjoy it. I
must
love
be
running this
exhausting
thing.
for
I
you.
can't win. It is.
It
It's
must
like
be because it's exhausting to watch from the outside. I will see these tweets and I'll just like, oh my God, Jeff must be just ready to
I mean,
friggin'
Dante's man. I love Dante. Dante do it for like 3 years now. I'm like, Dante,
yeah.
we're gonna do the same thing every year, and now I got RA going at me. I'm like,
It's always tough
you,
when I have to click see more to read like the full
yeah.
complaint of a dozen competitor. They go over 280 characters. At that point, guys, come on.
He,
What are we
he, tw-
talking about
he
here?
tweeted me the
Like
Fredo kiss just
this
now.
this is my perspective on it. I know the dozen is a huge Barstool thing, and Jeff would acknowledge it as a huge Barstool thing. I still view the dozen as like Jeff's baby that he built from the ground up. For anyone to be like, I deserve a spot on this is crazy to me.
Who
I don't feel
tweeted
like
you?
I deserve a spot in the
Fredo?
dozen. Like I'm
I,
happy to be in the
RA
dozen. I
tweeted me the
love to be in the
Fredo kiss
dozen,
just now.
but
oh
that's
no,
crazy.
he
The
tweeted you
Fredo
the
kiss is
Fredo
crazy.
kiss. Oh,
RA was on a very fun dozen team, but Biz and Wit just they're busy guys.
yeah, and
Understandably, yeah.
it's like foreplay too. Like foreplay is awesome, right? They're always on. They're hilarious,
Yeah,
but it's like
let's
they have
not
a lot
glaze
of
them
shit
too
going
much,
on.
Clem. They're
Yeah,
okay.
that's true. Well, Trent, I'm not including in this. Briggs, Frankie,
Yeah,
nice
Frankie
enough
and
guys.
Trent, great guys. Yeah. Or
No,
I
no,
mean
no.
Frankie and Riggs. Frankie and Riggs,
We
great
don't like
guys.
Trent anymore.
Your team
Trent,
captain Kirk did say on his show this morning that if you guys do lose to foreplay, not great. There's just bad sign for the rest of the season. You lost what I would. It's not a fluke. They played really well. Kelly, whenever team Kelly is on, is very hard to beat. And Rico and Kevin hit a couple sports, but there was a big flub by
big
your team
whiff.
on movies,
We got to be
a
better.
big 4 point swing. So I
I
think
think
you'll
Kirk is. If
rebound.
we lose to foreplay, I agree with Kirk. It would be very bad news for Team Minahan.
Yeah, historically speaking, though, you are on the team that did lose to foreplay. That is
I lost to foreplay, and we were
that
joking
is
about it that day, like, foreplay. This is gonna be a fun match for us, right? And then they came back. It was Frankie was nailing. It was like name the amount of calories in a box of fiber one, whatever, and Frankie would nail it on the calorie. It was crazy. He did it like twice in the bonus round. But yeah, listen, Kirk is right when he says if we lose to Team Foreplay, it'll be bad. We'll cross that bridge if we get to it. I don't think we'll get to it. We'll see.
Jeff,
that
how many
match
people
is.
do you have banned from the dozen? How many people is
There
RA on
is a
that
ban
list?
list. We know that
You know
if
there's
you
a ban
pan the
list.
camera just a little bit, it's like RA's mugshot.
I mean, Trista
Dante
Crick
the
got
Don.
banned. She doesn't work for the company anymore, though.
Trista Crick
He's
banned.
banned. Captain
The most
Cons?
egregious
Was he
cheating
was he
in the
banned?
history of the show. Who? Cons?
Cons, was
Cons.
he banned at one point?
Um,
Shadow ban counts as well. There's
I
two
don't
Shadow
ban
ban
and
counts.
no, man.
shadow ban.
I let Cons as recent as last year play on a team. Cons,
Kenjack
I
had to
saw
play in a straight jacket, I remember, at one point.
yes.
yeah.
And he bought like a BDSM straight jacket. It was not the normal straight jacket.
No, nobody's banned. I mean, it's just.
Let's
I
ban
don't-
someone right now. Let's
Yeah,
pick
let's
someone to
ban
ban.
someone right now.
Who
Can
can
we
I ban?
ban like a former employee even?
Let's see.
Ban Nate. He's on the
What-
call right
what-
now. Ban him. Ban him, Jeff.
He won't
Hold
like
on,
that.
Put the iron fist down.
What if we banned like Jared Carabas and we got tweeted out like official Jared Carabas is banned from the dozen and he doesn't know what's coming. He opens his phone. He's like, why am I banned from the dozen?
Former teammate on former teammate of Kirk on Team Anna, the original team,
Yeah.
Jared Carabas.
Also, I think former teammate of me in like one of the first
And
dozen
Coley.
matches ever. It was like me and
Yes.
Coley and right, yeah.
We're gonna ban. I'm gonna
Let's
ban
ban
someone
someone.
right
Yes.
now.
Oh, I can't. We're gonna ban someone live on the show.
Gonna ban Pat. Pat's banned from the dozen.
Breaking.
Pat? Gay Pat?
Yeah.
Banned. Oh, I didn't think it would
Banned
be
from the
him.
dozen.
I thought you were gonna pick like I thought you were gonna pick a former
Now,
employee.
is that-
Like,
is
I
that
thought
a
you were gonna be like
cop-out?
Rappaport's band or something.
Is that a
I don't
cop
even know
out
if I could
because
say
he
his name.
basically retired? Yes.
This feels like
Oh,
like
okay.
another DEI kind of thing going on here.
That-
Banning
that
the
is-
guy from the
That
dozen.
might be a
Jeff, that's
cop out
risky.
because he once played for a while and he retired, but if he changes his mind, which I don't think he will, he is banned.
All right,
Wow.
fair enough. Banned
He
from the
can't come
dozen.
back if he wants.
Heard it here
See,
first.
Pat's a sicko. Pat will like that. He'll be like that. So like he's like kind of guy who like
He likes
he'll
being the bad
champion
boy.
that.
The Boston, they're like they're still rebels all these years later. They started the revolution.
Pat
They
rides
like
a
that shit.
motorcycle. Like that, he's the kind of guy who he's fine being banned from the dozen.
Pat was on another former Team Minahead member, Pat,
Oh yeah,
and then he was going to be the coach, and then he he complimented Clemmer back when Kirk hated Clemmer, who's now on Kirk's team, and Kirk banned him from his team.
You gotta know what side of the fence
You
to be
gotta know.
on.
You gotta know.
What time of the day. You
That's
know. Yeah.
that's a former team. It was with Clemmer and Alex Bennett.
There should be. I don't mean to be the guy to immediately start saying there should be this kind of merch because I'm sure you hear that kind of stuff all the time. But I would love a Team Minahan shirt that on the back looks like tour dates, but it's all the members.
That was. Did you know I don't know if we got it done. I think when they won the title in season 3, Quiggs was wearing a shirt that had every name. Like
It was
Cleveland
like the
Browns,
quarterback. Like yeah.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
That's awesome.
I mean the logo is unbelievable. The briefcase logo for this team has like
Yeah,
15.
it is with
Actually,
the
let me
X out. Yeah.
here, the last thing we do before we go here. How many names? Let's see. I'm gonna pull it up.
Has Clemmer been put on there yet? Because I thought before the season.
Yeah,
started.
Robbie and Clemmer's name, they're on there now. So let's see. It is the names on the team in a briefcase. You have Steve Robinson, his former producer, Big Ev, Carabas, Megan, Trista, Hank, Rico. Kirk's name's crossed out because he technically left the team at one point.
That's true.
John Rich, Quiggs again because he traded back for him. Pat, and then Rico. Rico's on there 3 times.
And shout out Quiggs, by the way, turned that Kanye video into a very
Yes.
funny commentary.
Saturdays are
on
for the boys shirt.
Saturdays for the boys shirt, and it was a commentary on the Great British Steak Off that Roan.com
Yep.
did between
Very good
Sass and
video.
Francis.
That's the last thing
yeah,
she wrote.
that was very funny.
Very funny steak video, cooking video between Sass and Francis. Check out Roan.com. Great show. And the extra stuff Roan is doing is fantastic. I think I won't spoil it. He's got an idea coming up that I love. I'll just tease that. I'm not gonna steal his thunder, but there is something that I saw he's gonna do, which I think is awesome. So check that out. That's it. Shout out Factor. Shout out TGL. Watch TGL tonight. Shout out JackPocket for Robbie Clem. Jeff D. Little. Talk to you next time.
Maybe tomorrow. We'll see.